I am joined by, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Crimson Green.
Crimson Green is runner of this game. Um, and yes, we already have the comments. We have two Andys up against each other. So
The Battle of the
the
Andes.
battle of the Andes. They beat us to having the stream ready. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start race, and we should see this get going right away. Good luck to both of the runners. Not that you can hear me unless you're cheating. Starting in 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, then we're going to find out just how much the stream delay is. Hopefully they both press at the same time. We've been having a little bit of people readying up before they're quite ready. And yeah, that's
pretty
wonderful.
even to me.
How are you doing tonight, Green?
Doing good, doing good.
Oh, I think
It's 10 p.m. here, and I don't even know what's going on.
Well, it's 7 here, so it's much easier on me, at least.
Yep. All right, so it looks like both runners going with the buzz, telling you to go to winners.
Audio is doubled.
That's super helpful. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I will attempt to figure out why my audio is doubled. Yeah, I can't think of any reason why my audio would be doubled, so hopefully it fixes out. If that's still going, I can fiddle with more settings.
Double Andes, double J Tolmars.
Wonderful. That's too many doubles. So yeah, for races today, we have or Andy on the left. He's the one with the 4 in his name. He's one of our top runners. Nobody knows where this guy came from, but he's very, very good at PK Scramble. Frequently wins the weeklies, and I believe is our number 2 seed. Up against him is AndyPerfect, who's just like a legend in the Earthbound speedrunning community. AndyPerfect does tons of Earthbound speedrunning stuff, but has not done that much scrambling. So Anda is definitely the favorite to win here, but I would just never bet against AndyPerfect on any Earthbound thing ever. So it really could go either way.
I think AndyPerfect only did 1 or 2 of the weeklies, so
yeah,
but he did pretty well if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's kind of just comes out of nowhere and does very well from his immense Earthbound knowledge. So
yep,
still should be doing pretty good.
Yep. And AndyPerfect gets his first kid check. Let's see who we get. Looks like it is Smart Boy Jeff.
Smart Boy Jeff.
The zombies threw him in prison just because he is reckless.
Is this even randomized?
And did one of the weird things. If you actually beat the zombie lady in, she won't be there.
Oh wow! And I just noticed that her gang of thugs are all sharks today.
They're all sharks. So really, she took over for Frank, leader of the sharks.
And the sharks are entreated. So that is even randomized. So for anyone who's not familiar with the flag set that we're running today, this is the race defaults. So that's 4 Sanctuaries, Meteorite Piece, get to Saturn Valley, bring Paula, usual stuff for PK Scrambling. But the twist today is that we have progressive enemy shuffle on. So enemies will be found in the order that they would appear in Vanilla Earthbound, roughly. In whatever order the logic thinks you're supposed to be going in. Of course, the logic isn't.
So it's easy to tell. It's easy to tell if you're on logic because, for instance, when we went to 3, the sharks were there, which is pretty early in on the logic. So
exactly,
you're pretty close.
Of course, the logic isn't the fastest way through the seed. The logic takes a random viable path through the seed. It sometimes does very silly things. So you need to make sure that you're not, following it too closely, but still closely enough that you don't get dunked by being in a horrible neighborhood.
Yep.
People in chat are saying this is a crazy matchup for the first round, and I definitely agree. The way that we did seeding was just total. Well, it heavily favors people who have multiple qualifier matches done, and Anda did all of them, and AndyPerfect did 2. So that definitely brings AndyPerfect's qualifier time down a lot, or qualifying score down a lot, even though he's, of course, a very good runner.
But he gets a tough boss there with the Frankie is pokey there, and
and he's heavily
that is
armed.
an unfortunate first guy.
Yeah,
Both runners are probably going to have a problem with him.
AndyPerfect's really struggling. He's putting in a lot of effort on it, but without a second PSI user, heavily armed pokey is pretty tough. Also notice that there's giant step enemies on the way in there, which are, of course, early game enemies, but they're not the earliest game enemies, and they're all still.
You had a goat outside as well, so that's that's 3 or
that's Winters.
That's Winters. So.
Yeah. So the Winters 1/Jeff Quest enemies end up in some pretty funny places this way, because Jeff actually starts out level 1 and then has basically a twisted version of Onett enemies at the start, plus those goats. So those goats are only a little tougher than Onett animals, and then as you go through Jeff Quest, they get tougher and tougher. Of course, it's not like perfect.
It's always fun doing progressive enemy shuffle because you usually don't see the goats.
Yeah.
PK Scramble.
Yeah, the goats and the evil eye are both missing from a standard PK Scramble seed. If you put any sort of enemy shuffle, you can see them. Though you'd have to do an 8 sank to see evil eyes on progressive. Or get really, really lost.
I was gonna say I wouldn't put anything past PK Scramble.
Yeah, actually, not that long ago, and ended up doing the 8th Sanctuary on a race seed. There was like a combo of him being a little lost and the logic being very, very lost. But yeah, still pulled that.
And of course, Anda is able to take down the
he got
heavily armed pokey, so that was clutch.
Yeah, AndyPerfect just noticed that there's a copper bracelet in that trash can, which probably would have gotten him through that heavily armed pokey fight.
Yeah.
Looks like he doesn't have enough money to bring Jeff back, so that's going to be a bit of a tricky wicket. For anybody who has not seen PK Scramble yet, this is a key item randomizer, so all of the places that you would normally find a key item, such as the meteorite piece, or the book in the library, or Venus giving you an item, all of those have been shuffled, with some liberties taken. There's a lot of liberties taken in PK Scramble. The character join locations have been shuffled, and it also adds a thing that we call a PK check, which is a place where a plot NPC will give you a teleport to a random location that you have not been to yet, well, hopefully have not been to yet, and that opens up the rando. So you talk to Buzz and Liar's Manny Maggi statue in Onett, both of them give you teleports, other people will give you teleports elsewhere, and this is what opens up the rando and makes it so you can get lots of different places.
PK checks also give you a chance to get a level of Starstorm.
That's true. And you can get it even if you don't have poo, which is then useless.
Yes, and it gives you a fun message.
Oh, yeah. You got to have all those fun messages. That's honestly, they're a lot of fun to add to the game, too. And
lots of good Easter eggs that Jay Tolmar has put in.
Well, thank you. All right, looks like Anda is headed to Summers. I know that we have at least one Summers fan in the chat. All right, AndyPerfect is on his second attempt at doing heavily armed pokey. Oh, I think we might have two Summers chance. Yeah, come on, Andy. Oh yeah, I can just say that whenever. It's just always valid commentary. I was so happy that these two ended up matched up against each other. I just think it's hilarious that we have two Andys.
Totally seeded too, not on purpose.
Oh yeah. The only thing I did purposefully in the seeding is on the fancy bracket where it has the areas behind everyone. Which one is Summers was intentional. That is the only thing.
The Summers bracket.
Yeah, the Summers bracket.
And I love that. I also love that the losers bracket is
danger bracket. Yeah.
The deep darkness.
Yeah, I was gonna
lose and you're out.
I was gonna do a fancy thing with like all of the different big dungeon areas in the game, but it was like, oh no, this would be a billion effort. Yeah.
Deep darkness is good.
Yeah, one of the things I like about Deep Darkness is that it's very large, so I could fit an entire HD screen's worth of it without having to splice a whole bunch of things together.
So it looks like Anda's going to the Stoic Club to get one of those PK checks that you're talking about. So it's either going to be Starstorm, which is useless, or hopefully a teleport to somewhere that he hasn't been yet.
Yeah, and I think
or it could be a teleport to Summers.
It could be. It's a bit of a meme, but you can just get a teleport to where you are currently standing. I think they have to get a useful teleport right now, because I don't think they have any other progression right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Oh, actually, they have Boogie Tent, so this could be useless, but probably not. Tucson, that is useful.
Tucson is useful, yes.
Yeah. So, kind of going back to vanilla, just not how you get to Tucson.
The Tucson is nice here as well, because you can go up and get the reverse exit mouse.
Oh yeah, it's definitely still worth the time it takes to wander up there, even though it is longer from Tucson.
Absolutely.
And Anda has already found... Oh, I don't know if he noticed. He was going in there to buy a cookie, but that bakery also sold Repel sandwiches.
Repel sandwiches.
Repel sandwiches.
Repel sandwiches are another great addition to the Scramble, because with the addition of the sprint button, skip sandwiches are rendered useless. So they were changed to Repel sandwiches and Repel Sandwich DX, which is exactly what it sounds like. It keeps enemies away for 10 and 20 seconds, respectively. So
yeah,
finding those early is huge.
Looks like AndyPerfect has found the pack of bubblegum, so I saw they have winters, so this will be much more useful now. And Anda is checking the Paula hint. So on his way out, this guy is going to tell, where did Paula go? She ran away to become a monk. So, Paula is in Dalam. We also noticed that the Berglund Park boss is going to be Trillionaire Sprout, which is not one of the favorites.
No.
All hint was like a version or two ago. I would have to check the changelogs. Always check those changelogs.
Ooh, but Anda gets the toothbrush.
Yeah.
He didn't drop it. He gave it to Jeff.
Yeah.
Hasn't dropped it.
I mean, that's basically the same thing.
Yep.
Alright, that's a tiny rupee too. Probably gonna clean that right out, because that's just like the last thing you can do in Summers.
Yep. AndyPerfect also on his way to Summers.
Anda's broke.
Yeah, he is. Not enough to get into. I don't think that's enough to get into the museum, but we'll see.
This is the cheap museum. It's $3 a person, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never pay attention because I'm always like, I assume I have enough money.
Oh yeah, I've had a few seeds where you just get hard walled by tiny cash transactions. My least favorite is the if you have to turn in the diamond in Foresight, you have to buy a show ticket for $30.
Yep.
And
$30.
If that's the first, if that's the first thing that you do, then you go to Foresight, like, wait, I don't have $30. I have nothing in the ATM, and you can't sell anything in Foresight until you finish the department store. So it's just a bad feeling.
Yeah, that's tough. The $200 in Tucson is also rough.
Yeah. Another one that's really rough is the pardon me, the 3 zombie paper cutscene, which in Vanilla you don't even think of that as costing money because
Right.
but you can have like 4 kids and no money and have to pay like $240 for that.
Yep. It looked like Anda got the signed banana from the museum, so that will open up once they get to 4 side. That'll open up both a sanctuary and a check there. Key item. And the early Starman Deluxe, so that's a good thing because I feel like the later Starman is, the harder he becomes, especially when he can call in friends.
Yeah, I definitely think all of the hard bosses you want to see as early as possible, because you can just brute force them. People are still doing Ancient Cave. I think PK Scramble definitely has kind of like a new hotness going on to it, and so it's definitely more common at the moment. But there's actually going to be a showcase on GDQ Hotfix. I can't remember the name of their randomizer showcase, but it's the 21st. So coming up soon. We'll actually have both of the randomizers on that one.
Be good fun.
Thank you, Leslie Pro.
Random number generation hosted by Skybliz.
Yeah, so we're actually going to have... so I'm the developer of PK Scramble. We're also going to have the developer of Ancient Cave. And we're going to be co-commentating on both of the randos.
New hotness.
New hotness.
The exact phrase I was going to use.
Yeah.
I would expect nothing less from Jay Tolmar. The new hotness.
That's me. I am the new hotness, apparently. Looks like they're doing a 3 tunnel check. I'm surprised that nobody has went to Winters. Well, not that surprised. People don't like going to Winters.
Yeah. No one wants to double dip Winters or happy unless they have to.
Yeah. I think people are a little too hesitant on the happy, but I completely understand it on Winters. Because that Tessie cutscene is rather long.
Yeah.
The runners for those, I know the PK Scramble one is Anda, who is here right now, and IQ, who's our #1 seed for this. And I know that one of the runners on Ancient Cave is T.S. Jonte, but I don't remember who the other one is. I believe Temple is the backup runner for both.
Can't go wrong with any of them, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. A lot of randomizer stuff going on right now.
Randomizers in general, just breathing life into old games.
Yeah, definitely. It's also just, I really like the routing puzzle that you get out of a key item randomizer. And that's like why this is here. Cause,
absolutely.
Ancient Cave is very well done. It's like, I think the best implementation of an Ancient Cave style randomizer that there's out there.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, these item-based routing puzzles have always been my jam. So, well, not always. They're relatively new. But, yeah, I really wanted one for Earthbound. So now there is one. There's a mole. It's a Guardian Digger, and I didn't see who he said that his boss... Oh, it's actually at the end it says that. Poor Jeff has no PSI and just has to slam his face.
Use the toothbrush. Just has to brush his teeth and hope for the best.
That's actually a good use of a toothbrush.
Absolutely. Does the toothbrush actually do that in vanilla?
Oh yeah, that is the vanilla effect of the toothbrush.
Okay. I've never used it in battle, so I don't think I've ever actually used it, period.
Yeah, and that's why it is the thing that it does at the end of the seed.
So Anda's getting loading up on some repel sandwiches from the guy here, who does disappear once you go into Saturn Valley.
Oh yeah, I had a test seed I was running and I forgot that I had Saturn Valley already unlocked. Did the entire tunnel, saw that that guy wasn't there, and then realized that I had Saturn Valley.
So if you have the Saturn Valley teleport, even if you go through the tunnel, he won't be there.
Yeah, that's how it...
Interesting.
Yeah, actually a ton of plot stuff in this game are triggered by the same flags as the halves teleport flag.
Okay.
A lot of the work on the rando is just going through and replacing those. It looks like we actually have routing diversions here as Anda goes through Saturn Valley, and AndyPerfect is going and doing that winter's check, riding a majestic, majestic beast.
The majestic MS Paint Beast.
Yeah.
Majestic with its smile and monkey on its head.
Yeah, it's really just... I can't imagine a more beautiful creature. So you get to see...
Then I was wondering the other day, Jay Tolmar. I guess I've never checked. Once you give the bubble monkey the bubble gum, do you lose it out of your inventory?
Yeah, you do. The bubblegum, he remembers that he has
Okay.
the bubblegum. But...
I was wondering that as I was thinking out the weekly seed this week and thinking of my inventory space.
Oh, that's right, because we have a weekly seed, which most of the community does, or various amounts of the community does. And this week it is a open spoiler log seed, so people are plotting their routes before doing it. Yeah, that looks like a fun one too.
It was fun. It was very fun. I guess I don't really have to worry about spoiling too much since spoilers are allowed.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll let everyone figure it out on their own.
Yeah. It looks like Brick Road might be a little deeper than where Anda is. I saw those no good flies on that side.
Yep. There's some decent loot in Saturn Valley, so...
Yeah, there's a lot of trash cans. Brick Road actually has a ton of them, too. Looks like he's got the teleport coming in here. Oh, and remember there's a heal there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Dalam. So that's going to be very...
Dalam, where we already know.
Yeah, that's going to be
Paula ran away to be a monk.
Yeah, that's going to be very good for Anda. Of course, at the end of this tunnel, AndyPerfect is going to be able to do Sanctuary and also picking up a key item, which may be something very useful to him. If he can get past all these bears.
Yes, the bears.
And the marionettes. And the bats.
And the bats.
And a really unfair red swirl there.
Yeah. Double bear.
Double bear.
Bear.
I wonder if Anda's
Dalam with a decent amount of loot as well.
Yeah, I wonder if he's actually going to finish...
Saw Anda pick up a silver... Yeah.
Yeah.
That silver bracelet was tasty.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of chests here, but it doesn't look like Anda's going to stick around and go loot them.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones are definitely a lot slower than the ones in the palace itself.
And AndyPerfect skipping the sanctuary, probably going to get the heal here.
Yeah, there's a heal and a save. It's the best save in the game, I think. Oh, and you found Fabius too, so that might be worth using.
Hieroglyph copy.
Hieroglyph copy. They do have access to it, but you never want to go there.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's an intimidating enemy pack with Trillion and Spread.
It was almost as bad as in when it was me versus Reliux. It was him with two smiling spheres who just spammed fire.
And you don't want to get rid of them because they explode.
Exactly. And I managed to kill Trillion Sprout as my HP was 0, which is a soft lock.
Oof.
So that was not fun.
Yeah, I got
Thankfully,
one.
I saved right before.
I got one with loaded dice behind him, and it was just nasty.
Loaded dice in general are bad enough when they're in Magicamp, but... Whew.
Yeah, and they get... The call for help scripts get updated for wherever they are, but loaded dice normally can't call for help themselves, and in the rando they can in these enemy shuffles. Ooh, Anda's also founding very good equipment here. Those are the OK pendants. One of the things you really want to have before finishing off your seed. And AndyPerfect.
AndyPerfect gets the Mondo Mole, which no matter where Mondo Mole is, he's going to be pretty tame because he can just be paralyzed, and then all he does is life up.
Yeah, and if you're too low level to paralyze him, then he's still a joke, so... Yeah, if you're too low level to paralyze him, he's gonna have, like, life up Iota and heal 10 health, so...
Yep. Scratch you for, like, 5 damage.
But that does make AndyPerfect the first to pick up a Sanctuary. So we'll see if he can catch up on the other stuff that he's missed. Looks like Anda is doing a belch pace, which will open up 4-side.
Opens up 4-side, Dusty Dunes, so we'll be able to do our friend the mine.
Yeah, you can turn in the Sign Banana that they picked up earlier.
Yep.
It'll also give them Milky Well, so that's 3 Sanctuaries already. It looks like AndyPerfect is heading down to Skravaba. This could cost him.
That is a lot of bugs.
Are you saying that this rando is buggy?
Very buggy. Look at all of those bugs. But Ando with the nice teleport through them all.
Yeah.
It's like I don't need your bugs.
I remember when I first saw people running this, all the speedrunners would use teleport in like after the places where you get it in vanilla. But slowly people have started also using teleport dodges in places.
Yeah, I just forget about it.
Yeah, people forget about it until they're supposed to have it. But it's slowly becoming more and more the meta to actually use it.
I'm just not looking forward to the day I go back to any percent and I'm trying to teleport no net.
Oh jeez. I think lack of instant text speed is really gonna make any percent a lot harder to do.
Well, just watching a couple people that I've watched either do any percent or just casual runs, I'm like, this is so slow now without the instant text and the auto running.
Yeah, there is a patch that adds all of the speed hacks from this, but nobody has started actually speedrunning that yet.
Runbound.
Speaking of things that people have been picking up over the time that the randomizer's done, that was a very nice stutter. Into burping, dancing Electrospectre.
That was was it the last update that some of the sprites, overworld sprites, were added?
It was a couple updates ago. I think it was like a week ago. My sense of time is completely destroyed by tournament organization.
Well, welcome to the last year of our lives. But dancing Electrospectre is one of my favorite things.
Yeah, so Messianic, who also made Mother 2 Deluxe, another Earthbound ROM hack, contributed all of these boss sprites for the Sanctuary bosses that are normally just shining sparks. And some of them look very good. The other ones just also look very good, but with slightly less emphasis, I guess.
What is time even? Yes.
What is
An
time?
attack slug knows. First time doing boogie run after a scramble. Emulator set to slow speed. I know, it's so hard.
I've actually been
Context switch back.
for debugging. I've been running with my emulator set to 2x speed, so now even this looks slow. Yeah, Electrospectre likes to be rude, and he's belching in your face.
Avenge me, and then calling you Spanky.
Yeah, not very nice. Alright, so AndyPerfect is pretty far off the beaten path right here. We're gonna have to hope for his sake that there is something very important in the pyramid.
And that they'll have to do pyramid and winners anyway.
Yeah.
So then that would make the rest of the stuff that the rum raisin.
Amazing.
That would make the early stuff that Anda has done already pretty easy for Andy.
Mm-hmm. I always think it's funny seeing these random sprites being hieroglyphs on the wall here.
Yep. I had moles in the wall the other day. That was pretty amusing.
Nice. Yeah, so the enemies in here are not very deep, so it is fairly likely that this is at least on logic, but perhaps not required.
Yep. That is the little ram raisin.
Yeah, so now that we see that these are 3 enemies in here, we can expect that Where Anda's heading into Foresigned, it's either going to be not required or the enemies are just going to be very, very chonky.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a lot of Ram Raisin fans in chat here.
Ram Raisin is it's the up and coming thing.
Everyone's favorite flavor of ice cream. Ooh, that is a really mean enemy pack.
Ooh.
I think.
But he's getting the caterpillar, so.
Yeah, I think AndyPerfect was hoping that caterpillar was by his lonesome and not backed up by a crocodile.
Ooh. The caterpillars are rude because they also just spam fire at you.
Yeah, they're really mean.
And Andy takes a death there. Ooh,
that's rough. We're starting to see some pretty high-powered items on Anda's side. He should be starting to suspect that he's kind of lost track of where the seed wanted them to go.
Yep. Croco Caterpillar, definitely not a vanilla battle group.
That's true.
I don't see many crocodiles hanging out in the desert.
Yeah, so the way the progressive enemy shuffle actually works is it looks at the enemy's base level. So every enemy in this game has a level stat that is used for very little things, but is mostly accurate. And it looks at those and it just sorts them. So all the enemies in different areas actually have a variety of levels. So some enemies end up a little bit further on, and some end up a little earlier. So it's roughly vanilla. It is based on a stat from vanilla, but it's not like, you know, completely tied perfectly to the vanilla progression.
AndyPerfect thinking twice about this next caterpillar.
Yeah, that one should be by itself, because that zombie dog there was a NPC enemy. Hopefully,
still doesn't stop the caterpillar from spamming fire at you.
That's true. Usually, one caterpillar is still okay. They don't really have that much terrifying stuff going on. They just spam fire every turn.
Just spam fire, and if you don't have Paula or Pooh, it's a little tougher because your rocking PSI is speed based, and the caterpillar has very high speed.
Speaking of caterpillars, Xanda has found the tough caterpillars in here, and then tried to go back and guard them, but they already disappeared. We'll have plenty more opportunities for caterpillars in here, Xanda.
Caterpillars everywhere. It gets the nice turn back green swirl on it.
Yeah, so the red caterpillars on Forsang progressive enemy shuffle tend to be about as deep as the Cave of the Past. So this might be the 4th sanctuary. It might actually be the 5th.
Yes, the sewer zoomies.
Oh yeah, that one's always fun. It's very nice to just be able to run through the sewers at full speed. It's a little more subtle, but the pyramids where AndyPerfect are sped up significantly. The staircases, skip sandwich speed / run button actually work, whereas in vanilla there's like a thing that stops it from working.
Tolmar's like, don't need those things. It's trying to go fast here.
It's funny because there's just like this extra piece of code there that just makes the game slightly worse.
There's an intern put that in.
Those darn interns. Oh wow, it looks like that was a weaker fire from the bigger caterpillar. I don't know what happened there. Does that caterpillar have 2 different levels of fire? Is that what's going on?
I think the red one does have 2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that'll make the scaling. Put the higher one where it's supposed to be and the lower one lower.
So Andy gets the carrot key.
Interesting. That is go mode, right?
He still needs Paula.
Oh wait, sorry. You said Andy.
Andy.
Oh,
not Anda.
Yeah. Okay. So between the 2 runners, we do know how to beat this seed, but they might not actually beat the seed with the same set of checks as each other.
Correct. And Jeff's friend, I always forget his name, Maxwell,
Hmm.
gets him the yogurt dispenser.
Interesting. I imagine Anda's gonna immediately do that. That's like 3 items.
Yeah, 3 items potentially, and
Yeah, that's
you can get a poo. You can get a poo. You can get a teddy bear. You can get a flying man.
yeah. I mean, I always assume that it's gonna be a kid. Um, the way that the logic normally works out, it tends to be a kid. Though
Mm.
it's been getting better at just surprising you with random crap.
No mode. Andy and duh. Duh.
Duh. Oh, Enda just missed a easy green swirl and is
Ooh,
now in
yeah.
a scary, scary fight. Yeah, so if AndyPerfect finds Pooh, which is looking less and less likely that Starstorm will come in, very useful. He's gonna go finish off Dungeon Man because we know, but he does not, that you don't need to go to Deep Darkness this seed. But if you don't go through Dungeon Man and then you need to do Deep Darkness, it is a long walk back here to get that teleport.
Say a long slog back. Random crap like arcade being 7 sanctuary deep. Yep,
Yeah,
that has happened.
yeah, that's so cool. Um, Earlier on in this Rando's development, it definitely was not able to be that weird.
But Jay Tolmar just makes it weirder and weirder every time.
That's true. If you turn on all of the randomizer flags, it is getting out there now.
That was not all of them, but the weekly last week had a lot turned on.
Yeah, I think that was like everything, really. Right.
I think the more random, the better I am because my thinking is just pretty random.
um, yeah, the those random starts are also a lot of fun. I'm thinking more and more that's going to become the new race default after the tourney.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I've got a Moonside, and AndyPerfect will be getting that teleport. Correct. I'm not sure if this Moonside is necessary. It's
We'll find out.
yeah. Also, Anda's taking a pretty weird route there. I guess he's afraid of these enemies.
Yeah, he had some problems with the Skelpion, and
Yeah, these are Mighty Bear 7s, which are, what is that, 6 sanctuaries deep? Like between 5 and 6?
Mighty Bear 7. Yeah, that's it's 5th sanctuary, I believe.
Yeah, because you have to be, like, you don't see those until your Stonehenge trip.
Right.
Mighty Bear Sven. That's a good nickname.
Yeah. Sven.
Yeah, so Anda should have the hieroglyph cop. Actually, did he ever do? He did do the boogie tent. So yeah, he should have the hieroglyph copy. Might eventually realize that he's very deep into the logic and probably should not.
I didn't get a peek at who the boss is here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, AndyPerfect is now retracing all of the steps that Anda has done. So, oh, he is doing the completely unnecessary cutscene up there. That is, the need for that has been removed. But of course, AndyPerfect is a legendary, not randomized Earthbound speedrunner. It's hard to get rid of that muscle memory.
Yep. So it looks like we have a non-vanilla Ness's Nightmare.
Oh yeah, that is. Now that the sprites are different, you can tell that you're in for a very bad time.
You're in for a nightmare of a time.
Yeah, this one you want to find. Yeah, this guy you want to find.
And it did grab the super bomb, so.
Oh, those will definitely.
So as a shot.
Yeah, this guy you definitely want to see at like Frank's spot first thing, or just never see in your seed, because it's scary. Nope, and it looks like got through without too much trouble.
But Anda does know where the big bottle rockets are, so
yeah,
it can be a little bit generous with them.
Yeah, big bottle rockets and super bombs. We'll get through that.
And this monkey will give us something good.
Or something useless. We have no mode.
The no mode.
Shyness book.
And at this point, all but useless.
Have they found the Hawkeye?
Nope.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
not believe so.
It is useless then. You actually, if you do end up down there, it is pretty quick to do Lumine Hall followed by Fire Springs. It's just if you end up down there. This is a big if.
Yep.
All right. So
Is there something in the logic that blocks you from moving forward without the Hawkeye?
Yeah. So the logic doesn't think that you can, and then the actual game, once you go around like the first major bend, there's an invisible blocking sprite. That doesn't let you do it. It is
I've
possible.
never tried it.
Yeah. I'm glad that there is one there, because personally I've never really been a huge fan of going through the dark as a speedrunning tech.
Right. Pokemon has forever tainted that for me.
Oof, yeah. That's like the only piece of speed tech in various games that I'm not a huge fan of. It is possible to avoid it. There's a absolutely monstrous cliff clip that'll get you past it, but
Yep.
yeah. It also might be possible to despawn it, like the on-it barriers, but I don't think anyone's found a way to do that.
Yeah, it does not sound easy.
Oh yeah, the Link to the Past randomizer, like I've memorized a bunch of those dark rooms. It is easier than I expected it to be, but also just I don't like it as a spectator. And Tess's music is so good.
Indeed.
Andy. There's two of them. Two Andys. Indeed. And I didn't notice this when Ando was going through here, but this is Grapefruit Falls. This is a very creepy red. Wow. Did you see that ant just like joining the party for 2 screens? That was pretty
Yes. Funny. He just was hanging out between them.
I didn't. So, if you're asking for legality on PK Scramble, just whatever is legal in the Earthbound speedrunning community, we're just piggybacking on their rules. But I have no idea what their rules are on the small SNES. Oh, man.
I'm not sure how, without adding some custom firmware to it, how you would be able to load.
I mean, people have figured out how to add custom firmware to everything, so I've just assumed that was implied.
Yeah. For glitchless, yes. Yeah, I believe you can use the SNES Classic for glitchless.
Well, it looks like AndyPerfect is now going to get that Dalam teleport and pick up Paula finally.
Yep. Some of my early Boogie percent runs were on the SNES Classic.
Yeah, so the runners are basically just retracing each other's steps now, so...
Yep. And we'll still have to go probably through the pyramid.
Yeah. I've actually lost track of how much stuff that they've swapped with each other, so I have no idea who's in the lead anymore.
Yeah. We'll just call it too early to tell.
Yep, there you go. And they're both, of course, going to go through the areas that the other one did earlier faster than the other one did before, because they've gained a whole bunch of levels in the way.
Mm-hmm. But having Paula earlier is definitely an advantage.
Yeah,
so she can get more experience.
And I think Anda also ended up doing the higher levels first, so that is also an advantage. Like once you've gotten through that initial roadblock, the extra experience helps out a lot. That is true, Miko.
Yeah. I am surprised AndyPerfect didn't go for the sanctuary there, but also not surprised because
I mean, he doesn't
He
know.
probably plays it like I do. Usually save things like those, like the carrot key, cashing that in until last.
Yeah, that's very common. I usually hold off until I have Paula at least. Oh, we're gonna find out what Anda's meme is. Um, and it looks it looks like he's gonna actually bother entering something long. Oh, tourney time. Very appropriate.
Any time.
Thank you for memeing with us, Anda.
So now Anda is going down to Funky Town, aka Scaraba.
Yeah, and AndyPerfect is also on his way to a dungeon. He's going to be picking up the Belch base. Yeah, so for that specific one, I definitely see holding off on it because you have to walk all the way down there for the trial, and they don't have poo yet. I don't think either of them knows yet that there's no poo in sight. It's a very good cutscene, but it is very long. I'm not taking that bet, Rizikun. I'm pretty sure AndyPerfect always does the ooh or tild. There's actually some very amusing dialogue in there when you don't have poo. But we will not see it because everyone is very good at mashing and they have instant text speed.
Also, get your guesses in now for who Gygas's assistant is going to be.
Oh, that's a good question. We've seen the original dude, and he's not there.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely not going to be Vanilla.
Yeah, Vanilla was Frank. Maybe it'll be Frank.
My money's on Shroom because Shroom is always the thorn in my side.
That's ironic, because shrooms do not have thorns. Yeah, I'm gonna join Leslie Bro. I think it's Frank.
One of these times it has to be Frank.
Yeah, it was Frank earlier today, wasn't it?
Kraken is terrible as his assistant, especially if he has the tornado.
Oh, jeez. Well, his guy doesn't have the tornado in these seed settings. Oh yeah, Belch and Barf. I always forget that they can be there. They make an awful noise when they end up in that slot.
IQ knows what's up with Shroom.
Yeah. Shroom is one of the surprise worst bosses in a lot of places. I think Shroom in Mole Cave is just one of the meanest things you can get.
Yep. Is it a fart? We can only hope.
It is a belch, but does it sound like a belch? Yeah, so if that happens, you'll find out. Doggo cannot normally be assistant, but it does have both phases. So there's a flag called unsafe boss placement, and when it's not on, you cannot get Ness's Nightmare or Carbon Dog in Gygas Assistant or the Mole Cave, because both of those are terrible. But Doggo in Gygas Assistant is possible. You have to get through both phases of Dog before you get through the Devil's Machine. And the second phase has very glitchy graphics. The moles can be two-phase doggos, but only with unsafe boss placement on.
Low Ram Raisin.
I don't think I'm ready for that. I would just forfeit instead of having to kill Little Ram Raisin.
Can't kill Low Ram Raisin.
There
definitely needs to be like a custom sprite for Low Ram Raisin.
So much to get on that. Somebody suggested earlier just like adding bosses from other Mother franchise games or other
Hmm.
RPGs. I actually think that'd be pretty cool, but not immediately. Wow, that room is full of crocodiles.
Yes, it is. Wow. I I'm a fan of the Final Fantasy IV randomizer that has the last boss be something totally off the wall.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. I also like so FF1 randomizer is one of my favorites, and it has a flag that just completely replaces the final boss with one of several mean things. Um, I have figured out a way to increase the randomization of the final boss in this, which may sometime happen. Oh, that was a beautiful stutter from AndyPerfect. He's
It was very nice. He had to even stutter up the rope.
yeah, he's gonna clean out this cave. I think AndyPerfect might actually be in the lead. Um,
I think I would agree with you.
oh,
Looking at his tracker,
I don't think that stutter does work. Oh no! Wow, that was gonna be another amazing stutter.
oh wow,
That is a lot of
Andy with the
amp.
unlucky, yeah.
Ooh,
So it looks like from Andy Perfect's tracker, he's got one.
this is just
I
his
think he's
second.
only done. Yeah, this is his second sake.
Yeah.
So he
I'm not
still has
surprised.
Milky Well and
Yeah, I just saw that Anda is skipping Dungeon Man, which we know they will not get punished for. So that's
yep,
just gained him a ton of time.
yep.
Looks like AndyPerfect is getting a lot of colds from snakes. So one of the things that happens in this randomizer is enemies get scaled to whatever depth they end up at, and certain attacks that could be too dangerous at a specific depth get replaced. So those poisonous fangs attacks can be filthy fangs attacks that give you a cold if you're not deep enough to have heal beta, or at least the Rangdo doesn't think you'll be deep enough to have heal beta. And they're
Yep.
both at this Kraken at the same time.
No Kraken.
Yeah, so I think Anda is just pretty conclusively pulled ahead.
That was impressive.
Yeah. No Kraken with Googie. We can cross one off of the potential list.
Snakeborn cold pandemic.
Well, this is not off of the Crows, because that would be Corvid.
Hmm.
Puns only an ornithologist could love.
Only reason I get it is because someone made that joke early on in the pandemic.
Nice.
They were calling it Corvid. Someone was like, "No, that would be the bird flu."
Oh, yeah. I almost got bird flu. I actually did get swine flu back during that pandemic.
No.
Oh,
So it looks
no.
like Anda is going to
Yeah,
Milky Well, and then it's go time.
nice. And I see Chargles, one of our other speedrunners,
Chargles.
is have an awful pun in there.
He beat me to it.
Right. AndyPerfect is
Careful,
on his,
you're gonna start ruffling some feathers. Don't.
um. Oh, there's Buffalo in here. I feel like you see a lot more
Buffalo,
Buffalo.
buffalo, 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 buffalo,
Was that one of the legal
buffalo.
numbers of the word buffalo?
I don't know. I lost track.
I know in Chinese there's an entire poem where every single word is sure with different tones.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, we got pun people in
We
chat.
got strong.
Yeah, you always like seeing strong late in a seed because he does not scale very well. All of the like plain melee bosses end up becoming jokes in the end. Even Frank, who like ends up stabbing you for 700 damage. Like, latency, who cares?
Right. When you can just heal the next round, it's...
Yeah. Yeah, if you have time to give everyone orders and heal someone and get through the next round's text before your HP scrolls down, then those single target attacks just stop mattering. And Anda has his sanctuary requirements, so he'll be heading
He
out
has
next.
absorbed the power of the land.
That is correct, and we know this guy doesn't do too much prep. They have Magic Ant access, and Anda almost never does Magic Ant, so he'll probably just be diving straight into Gygus now.
And fighting the Ohio signs.
Yeah, there's a lot of random garbage in there.
Yeah, the weekly seed this week had a bunch of Buka in there, and I got tripped up on that as well.
Oh, those Buka. I can see what I can do about supporting TCP/IP over Avian Carrier for PK Scramble. That's some pretty good stuff.
Oh, tech memes.
Oh, tech memes. Oh, and we got
Yeah.
Ooh for Andy, as predicted. I believe Rizikun was the first one to mention how obvious that was.
Yep. Good call. The SpaghettiOs are spelling words. It says ooh.
Huh. How do they know? Yeah, I think giving the flame bosses miniguns is a good idea, Rizikun.
Great idea.
But there'll have to be like a separate flag to enable that sort of nonsense.
Enable the miniguns.
Miniguns for everyone. Alright.
You give the enemies that count down the minigun. They count down from 3.
Alright, so Anda's going to be roboticized. Very recently, I've shortened this down. It saves 51 seconds. So, enjoy your traumatic cutscene in 1/4 the former time.
And a Nuts has figured out how to multitask.
Yeah.
Turn all the kids into robots at once.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot more devil may care in his dialogue in this rando. Alright, so Anda is prepped and ready to do Gygus. We've had a lot of really spicy Gyguses this tournament so far, so it's definitely not guaranteed that he'll get through. But he's definitely at an advantage. AndyPerfect has, I think, 2 entire sanctuaries to do before catching up here.
Yep.
A Gygus wipe can be very costly on time, especially if it's later in Gygus, but most Gygus wipes tend to be fairly early. Ooh, Clumsy is still possible.
Clumsy is still possible.
Alright, well, we have one of the more cursed options. Actually, I think Starman Jr. hasn't been seen yet, right?
No.
Yeah, that'll be that'll be my cursed option. Though they do have Jeff.
The later you see Starman Jr., the worse it is.
Yeah. They do have Jeff, which helps quite a bit. Alright, I think we've gotten a lot of good guesses in here. We've got to figure out who got this. Or we'll just all be wrong because it's, I don't know, someone we missed. Diamond Dog, because I said it's impossible.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
Alright, we're going to find out in mere seconds.
The suspense is killing me.
The Apple of Enlightenment could not have predicted this, but can chat.
Ooh.
Oh, you're slightly ahead of the stream, don't spoil it.
Ooh.
Ooh. I don't think anyone guessed Titanic Ant. So,
no. That's what no one guessed Ant.
So we're all the Apple of Enlightenment today. We cannot predict what this boss is. Damn you, House. This isn't a very bad boss here. He doesn't come with his helpers. I think the worst thing he can do is Magnet Omega here. Yeah, he's down.
Easy peasy. I know the answer to this.
It depends on how you count the stages, Black Sesame Seed. AKA Chargles.
Gargles.
Chargles. Oh, these are some good guesses. I don't think any of them are right, but they're good.
Attack slugs guesses. Definitely
Yeah,
right on.
That doesn't really get included in the meme numbers as often as it should.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so as always for the seed, good luck, Andy.
$11 billion.
Was that nausea that Jeff has from a Gygas Flash?
I believe so.
Yeah, so we have a flag on here called Safer Flash Beta, which gets the 1 in 8 chances of being obliterated by PSI Flash Beta and replaces it with some other random bad status effect. But of course, not as bad as instant death.
Nothing is worse than instant death.
It's true. So we have Nausea, this seed, which is actually probably one of the safer options out of the ones that you can get in this slot.
Mm-hmm. I would actually argue that being mushroomized might be worse than death.
Well, you can always cure mushroomization with death, so you might be right. Yeah, when you get those Shroom as Gygas Assistant seeds, you just have to, like, keep one kid more alive than the rest so that the others die, and then you can revive them. Andy, why are you doing a capitalism?
Or,
Why does anyone do a capitalism?
Yes. Or when you get Shroom in the mines.
Ooh, I just heard
That's always fun.
I just heard Ness get solidified and Paula get destroyed. So we're into Sketchy Town for Anda. It looks like he just got out of that just fine. I don't think you want to get mushroomized IRL. Like, I'm pretty sure that having a mushroom grow out of your head would just be fatal.
Yep. I do not see any instances where that would be a good thing.
If you want to, like, walk in the wrong direction, you know, just sit on your chair, get the swivel nice and well lubricated, spin around a bunch. There are other ways to do this,
Buffalo
too.
and the Ohio signs.
Yeah. Well, they're in Buffalo, Ohio. It makes sense.
Yes.
I assume there's a buffalo there. All right, Anda is on his second to last prayer. Has almost got it. And yeah, there you go. GG, Anda. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if yep, Anda has done his thing. Let's see if he wants to join us and do a post run. Alright, he knows how to do this. Congratulations, Anda. GG.
Thank you.
Good work, good work.
I went down a rabbit hole I probably shouldn't have.
I think you basically did stuff that you needed to. Congratulations, Anda. GG.
Yeah, well, they definitely didn't need to do
Good
Moonside.
work.
Oh no.
That is true.
I am... There we go. I started hearing myself through Anda's stream.
Sorry.
No worries. That's my bad. I needed to switch over to AndyPerfect earlier.
Just mute my own stream.
Nah, we're good. You can
Okay.
do it as you like.
Always good to see. It's always good to see Moonside, though. You know.
Sure. I did buy just enough super bombs to get through phase 1 immediately without having to think about it.
Exactly.
Very nice. Yeah, I think Moonside was the only unnecessary thing you ended up doing, right?
I think so.
Yeah, you guys actually... you diverged super bad. Like, AndyPerfect did the pyramid just, like, immediately.
I mean,
Winter's in pyramid pretty early.
Yeah.
I am always scared of the eraser play.
Yeah, it makes sense. And people also like to put off Pyramid as long as possible.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course, once I saw the carrot key, I was like, oh, like I always was already in Goman at that point because I had the Shyness book and Hawkeye, so I could go through Deep Darkness to get the Lumen Hall. But I saw the carrot key, and like that's gonna be much quicker than going all the way to Deep Darkness.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anything in Deep Darkness is the fast route unless you need like that 2 sanctuaries in a row thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, AndyPerfect is doing his Gygas shopping. I'm gonna definitely give him 1 crack at Gygas before just going in and raiding him.
I'm gonna enter the stream now because I want to watch.
Nice. So this is going to be a little late for explanations, Larthantos, but this is PK Scramble, an Earthbound randomizer. The way that it works is it shuffles all of the key item locations, so you get like the zombie paper from the meteor, or vice versa. It shuffles all of the character join locations, and it adds some of the plot NPCs end up with giving you random teleports. With all of that, people have to figure out how to get to and beat Gygas. This is a race seed, so we need 4 sanctuaries, plus getting to Gygas and having Paula. It is not like Lufaya 2 Ancient Cave. There is another Earthbound randomizer that's just like that, but this is more like
Free Enterprise.
yeah, it's like Free Enterprise, Link to the Past randomizer, most randomizers other than Ancient Cave.
Mm-hmm.
There's no randomized entrances in this one though, so everything is where you expect. Well, every place is where it should be relative to every other place.
And you start with teleport, so
Yeah. Looks like AndyPerfect is not bringing repel sandwiches and is just gonna try to despawn his way through this cave. Which is gonna be trickier with not the normal enemies here.
with the robot sentries, at least they don't count down on you.
Yeah, they count down on you in Monotoli building, whatever is there.
Right.
Jeff brushed his teeth.
Jeff brushed his teeth. So
That's
why
right.
Jeff?
Because I didn't want to take Ness's inventory space.
Ah. Actually, you managed to, like, find a use for that toothbrush, too. We were very impressed.
I mean, it didn't work.
It was still like, oh, Jeff is useless. We should stun this guy for a turn.
I think I had regular bottle rockets at the time.
Ooh, look at that stutter. The first time anyone
The
has ever
toothbrush with the
stuttered...
swags.
Yeah, I think that's the first time anyone has ever stuttered an enemy in the Cave of the Past.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so every enemy in the game that like talks to you right before fighting is actually an NPC, and isn't a normal enemy at all. So when you see those, it's not a property of the enemy. It's actually just a fake enemy to start with.
Those
It acts
fake
real to me.
enemies.
Acts real to me.
Thanks for killing you. I mean, it's like a boss, right? It works the way those do. Alright. Yeah, so we were all guessing who the Gygas assistant was going to be, and nobody got it right.
I mean, I wasn't thinking Titanic can either, so...
Yeah, well, we had an entire chat guess. We had, like, I think there's not a boss other than Titanic Hand that we missed.
My money was on Shroom just because that's probably one of the more annoying ones.
Oh god,
Yeah.
I would have been very sad if it was Shroom.
Yeah, once we started going through annoying ones, I picked out Starman Jr.
Didn't I already beat Starman Jr. earlier?
Probably. I don't have the best memory for these things.
Or maybe that was my practice eater earlier today.
I don't
I
know.
think you beat Starman Deluxe, but not Junior.
Starman Deluxe. Oh yeah, it was totally Starman Deluxe. I ate some Star Storms, right?
Alright, good luck, AndyPerfect.
He'll be fine. He's got PSI shield. I took advantage of the caterpillars and the stewards.
Nice.
Yep.
Big grinding.
I just was kind of wondering if you were too deep when I saw those, because they frequently end up in Cave of the Past.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, that's a happy little accident.
Mm-hmm. That's when I knew Moonside was probably not the answer. When I started seeing like
anyway.
Mighty Bear 7s and stuff like that. I'm like, this is definitely the wrong
Bears.
But it's like, well, at the same time, I'm already here. I'm not gonna leave.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll get like the key to the shack or something, and then.
Yeah, doing an overly deep sanctuary is probably faster than doing pyramid to get to the one you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It looks like if my math is right, Andy's just about back to phase 2. Yep.
Were you counting the HP of the boss?
I was rounding.
Still impressed.
I need to keep my brain sharp somehow.
You have to tell us which phase counts as phase 3, Charles. As this could be phase 3 if you count the intermission phase right before it. If you're counting on when Gygus switches, then phase 3 is 1 prayer long, and if you're counting on when the background switches, it is 7 prayers long.
Many prayers.
And the last phase is 2 prayers.
Yeah, but that's actually the same Gygus. So if you're counting those,
It is the same Gygus.
Yeah, so that's only phase 4 if you're counting Gygus.
He keeps his what's it called? He keeps his brain shock status.
Yeah, he keeps his
That's true.
Attack shuffle and curses too.
Oh gosh.
Now that we have
Gygus shreds fiercely on a skateboard.
Yeah, that skateboarding Gygus is surprisingly terrifying.
Just the image of Gygus skateboarding is great. It's fantastic.
I don't have an image of Gygus skateboarding. My mind doesn't comprehend it. Gygus's defenses became unstable, thus ending phase 3. On to phase 4.
Too many phases.
Too many phases. We've got some odd photos in your photo collage, Andy.
Many eyes. There are many eyes in front of the bike shop.
There are many eyes.
Yee.
Yeah. Gygus is giving AndyPerfect a much harder time than he gave you.
Yeah, he actually gave me some free turns. It was kind of neat. He's usually much ruder.
Yeah.
Lots of moles in the the museum. Hanging out with the skeletons.
Hanging out with the
And
skeleton.
somehow both Mr. Saturn and the Tendas managed to get to Winters. Figure that one out.
I mean,
Ooh,
the
Andy's
Saturns aren't
taking a
invented.
huge risk at
species.
getting. Oh, we got
The correct answer is Tessie. Tessie is how it happened.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Tessie can get anywhere.
Somehow, some way.
You wrote this. Turning time.
Turning
Well
time.
done. Good choice, Edmund.
Are we on phase 5 or 7? I've lost count.
I have also lost count.
I
I thought we were at 4 is phase like 6.5.
I mean, this is. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can count it.
Tony's praying for us. We haven't met Tony, but, you know, he's praying for us. Ooh. The Horn of Life.
Oof. Some rough phrases.
Oof.
I did accidentally defend on a turn and Paula died for it, but that's fine. I had 40 horns of life. 400 horns of life.
Is AndyPerfect out of revive items?
That would be a big
believe
tragedy.
Yeah, nice.
I believe so.
Thank you.
F. All right. Well, I don't know if AndyPerfect is gonna just forfeit. He has forfeited. So, Anda is going on through the winners bracket, and AndyPerfect will be joining the danger bracket. Danger bracket. The next one of these that we're streaming
Join
is
us
tomorrow at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. Other times, use Google. Hope to see you all there. Thanks for joining me, Crimson Green and Andy. Yeah, have a good night, everyone.
All right, you too, folks.
See you guys.
Bye.